Hi everyone, welcome you all. In the today's video, I'm going to show you how we can use touch command and pwd and ls command. Now let us start with touch command and let me open my Ubuntu VM and which is my terminal which is already open. So how to use a touch command? So basically touch command can be used to create an empty file. Suppose I want to create a new file. Let's say I use one command called touch and you can provide the name of the file. Let's say myfile.doc. So which is created an empty file. And if you want to see that file, I can say ls and which will show you myfile.doc. And similarly, let me create one more file. Let's say touch. I want to create an hidden file. So hidden file is nothing but we cannot see that file while listing the file. So how we can create a hidden file is touch. Always the hidden file start with a dot. So touch dot, and here I'll say my hidden file and dot txt. So this will create an hidden file. So now I have created two files. One is myfile.exe. This is a normal file which is created, empty file. Now I already created one hidden file, myhiddenfile.txt. Now when I say ls command here, which will basically listing out all the files and directories. Now when I execute ls command, you can see myfile.doc, but you cannot see myhiddenfile.txt, because which is a hidden file. All right. So if you want to see the hidden file, then you can execute this command ls-a. So ls means which will display all the files and directories, and along with that, it will also display the hidden files and folders. Now we can just -a. Now we can see the list here. My hidden file.txt is displayed. So touch is a command by which we can create an empty file. Now there is one command called pwd, so which will basically show you the current working directory. It will just print the working directory. And suppose I'll change the directory, let's say cd, and I'm going to another directory called videos. Now when I execute pwd, and which will show you the current directory. And if you want to again go back, I'll say cd / and again pwd, which will give you current directory. So this is a touch and pwd commands. Now I'm going to show you how to use ls command. So which is very, very important command. There are so many options we can use along with ls command. So basically ls is a command by which we can list the files. If you want to see what are the files and directories are created in Unix or Linux, we can use ls command. Now let me show you different options with the ls command. So if I just type only ls command enter, which will give you all the files and directories which are present inside the current directory. This is just ls command. Suppose I want to see the detailed information of each file and folders, like the privileges, creation date, the size of the file or directory, and user information. If you want to see the details of each and every file, then you can say ls-l. So long list, L is nothing but a long list, ls-l. When I execute this command, now you can see here, which is displaying the privileges and users and the size of the file. So currently these files doesn't have any content, so it is saying 0. And the rest of the files, it is giving some size also. And when it is created, when those files are created, month and date and year will be displayed along with the name of the file. So if you want to display the detailed information of the file or directories, you can just use ls-l command. Similarly, when I execute ls-l, which will not show you the hidden files, it is just showing only normal files. Suppose I want to display hidden files also, then what I can do is I can say ls-a, so which will display the all the files along with the hidden files. Now we can just look at here. This is a one hidden file I already created, my hidden file.txt. So all the hidden files will be starting with the dot here. You can just look at some files and directories, and they are started with the dot because they are hidden files and directories. Okay, suppose I want to display all the files and directories, detailed information along with hidden files. Okay, I want to display all the files including hidden files and detailed information. So I can combine this. I'll say ls. Let me just clear it. So when I say ls-l means what? Which will display the detailed information of all the files and directories. And I want to display the details of even hidden files also. I'll say hyphen a, hyphen l, hyphen a. Now when I execute this, which will display the detailed information of files and directories, which includes hidden files also. If I just look at this, you can see these are the hidden files. Okay, hyphen l, hyphen a. Now if I just look at this data, let me just say clear and ls. Now if I just look at these details, you can find all the files and directories, right? But if you don't know exactly which one is a file, which one is a directory, and if you want to clearly notice what are the files and directories, I can just represent the directories with a slash. So for example, whenever I display the files and directories, I want to add some slash if it is a directory. Okay. So then what I can do is I say ls hyphen uppercase character f, ls hyphen f. So what this hyphen f will do is hyphen f will be adding slash character at the end of each directory. So for example, let's say hyphen f I have typed enter. Now we can just look at this. So wherever you can see slash here, this is a directory. This is another directory. Templates is a directory. Target is a directory. So slash will be added after every directory. Okay, so ls hyphen f. So by this, by seeing this slash, we can easily recognize this is a directory and this is a file. And wherever you can see slash, they are all directories. Okay, so suppose I want to display all the files and directories in reverse order. So for example, let us say clear. And if I just execute only ls command, for example, like this, which is displayed all the files and directories in the normal way. Now I want to display all the files and directories in the reverse order. So for example, it is started with 1234.txt and b.doc and so on. And the last folder we can see is videos. Now I want to display all the files and directories in the reverse order. All right. So then what you can do is I can execute ls hyphen r, small r, ls hyphen small r, which will display all the files and directories in reverse order. Now execute and see the difference. So now we can see here. So y.txt, xy.txt, x.txt, workspace, videos, right? So you can just look at this. All the files and folders aligned in alphabetical order. So exactly in whichever order it is displayed earlier, now it is displayed in the reverse order, all the files and directories. So to do this, we need to use ls hyphen r, small r, which will display all the files and directories in the reverse order. There is also one more option called capital R, hyphen capital R. So there is a lot of difference between these two options. When I say hyphen R, all the files and directories will be displayed in the reverse order. And when I say hyphen R, uppercase R, which will display directories along with the subdirectories. Suppose when I say normal ls, we can see just directories here. But I want to see in detail what these directories contains, what are the other subdirectories, each subdirectory contains what are other files. I want to see each and every subdirectory and file inside the directories, detailed information. So then you can use ls hyphen r. So basically which will display directories along with the subdirectories. Now when I execute this, which will give you the lengthy list. If I just look at here, it will show you all the directories and subdirectories. And you can see here inside the global, this is a directory in streams, a global, again, streams. So each and every folder, what are all subdirectories are available, which will display the path along with the path, which will display all the directories and subdirectories inside the main directories. So this is one more command we have. So what are those commands? ls hyphen r. Small r means which will display all the files and directories in the reverse order. When I say hyphen r, uppercase character, which will display all the subdirectories present in the main directories. Now I have one more command called, suppose I want to display all the files based upon the order. Okay. So whichever the file is having higher size, I want to display those files first. So in that case, you can say ls hyphen l. So ls hyphen l is nothing but which will display lengthy list in detail. And when I say hyphen s, this is uppercase character, hyphen s. Now, which will display the file size, each and every file size in proper order. and whichever size is having big, then that file will be displayed first. Now when I execute this enter, now just look at this. So this is actually size of the file. So let me just execute without s. Okay, let me just execute. I say only ls hyphen l. Okay, ls hyphen l. So which will display all the files in detail information, right? So this is 0 is representing the index here. These files doesn't have any content, and these are the sizes. Now I want to display all the files and based on the size. Okay, whichever the larger size file is there, so those files I want to display first. And then you can use yes. Additionally, you can just say ls hyphen l. Yes, yes is a uppercase character. Now when I execute this, now you can see this. So whichever file is having larger data, which is displayed first. Okay, so this is how we can use command hyphen l. Yes, yes is a uppercase character, so which will display the file size in order, and will display big size file first. Okay, now there is a one more command. We can use all these options with ls command. Let me use one more option. Suppose I want to see the files which are present in specific directory. So for example, let's say here I'll just execute ls command. Now you can say there is a file called videos. So I want to see what are all files are available inside this videos directory. So how we can see that? I want to see all the files which are present inside this videos directory. So simply what I can do is ls-l, and then specify the directory name. So for example, I say videos, execute. Now total 0 means it doesn't have any files. So let me take one more file. Let's say, let me take documents. Okay, documents. Now which contains a one file here. So this is a myppt.gif file. Let me show you one more document. I say ls-l, specify the directory which will show you what are all files are available. So here I'm just going to show you something like downloads. Okay, now it is also doesn't have any files. So if you want to display files which are present in specific directory, you can use this command ls-l, I say downloads. And you can also do like this. Suppose I don't want to display the details of the files and everything, just ls and specify the file name or folder name. So it doesn't have any file, so it is not displayed anything. Okay, but if you want to see the detailed information about the file, like privileges, user, size and date and everything, just use -l. Okay, so these are the few options which we can use along with the ls command. So apart from that, we also have something called wildcard characters. So we can also use wildcard characters along with the ls command. Now let me show you what are all wildcard characters are supported in Linux or Unix. So there are three kinds of wild characters are supported. One is question mark, star, and bracket. So question mark is representing a single character, star is representing multiple characters, and bracket is representing the range of characters. So these are the three different wildcard characters supported in Unix or Linux. Now I'll show you how we can use this wildcard characters along with the ls command. And let me put it here one side. Okay, so the first one is single character. Question mark representing single character, star representing multiple characters, bracket representing the range of characters. Now, for example, I want to display. So if I just look at ls, there are multiple directories and files are here. Now, my requirement is I want to display all the files whose name is single character. So I want to display the files and whose name is having single character, only single character. The files name should have only single character. So simply what I can write is ls, and I say single character, right? The file name should have only single character. So question mark representing the single character. And that file is also having some extension, right? I'll say dot, and extension can be anything. It can be doc or txt, whatever. So I say star. So star representing multiple characters. So extension can be anything. So when I say star, it match with all the characters. So question mark representing a single character, dot, after that star representing multiple characters. So extension can be anything, but file name should be single character. Now when I execute this command, now observe this. If you see the output, all the file names are having single character. All the file names are having single character, but extension will be either doc or txt, because I say star means which is matching with txt doc, also multiple characters. Okay. And suppose I want to get the files with single name or single character. The file name should contain single character, but extension should be doc. I still want to filter them, so extension should be doc. So then how we can do this? ls, the file name should have single character, so question mark dot, what is an extension I'm expecting? Only doc should be there, so specify that value. So now I got the files which are having single character as a name, and extension is a doc. Okay, so this is how we can use question mark. Similarly, you can also say if you want to display only the text, I say txt. So ls question mark. So file name should contains only of single character, dot txt is an extension. Now I got the only txt files. Now if I just look at these three scenarios, the file name is always single character because question mark will match with single character. Okay. And suppose I want to display the files whose name contains multiple characters, whose name contains a multiple characters. So I say ls multiple characters. When I say multiple characters means star, and the file names should start with some character. Let's say my file names is start with a. File name should be start with a, and after a you can have any number of characters. Any number of characters means what? Star. A star. A star representing a is a starting character. Star representing after a you can have any number of characters, and dot, the file extension should be txt. File extension should be txt, or file extension should be doc. Let me say doc here. Let me say doc. So what is the representing of the representation is a is a single character. After that you can have any number of characters. Star representing many characters. Dot, extension should be doc. When I execute this, you will get two files. Now we can just look at this. The file name should start with the a. So in both the files, start the first character should be a. After that you can have any number of values. So here bc is there, here I don't have any values. Even though if you don't have any values, no problem, but the extension is doc. In both the cases extension is a doc. Okay, so this is how we can filter the data. So let me just display something. Let's say ls star dot txt. Now what this will display? So ls star. So before this extension, the file name can be anything. Star representing multiple characters, and those characters can be anything. But the file extension should be .txt. When I execute this, now I got these files. So every file you can just look at this. All the files are having txt as an extension. Now file name can be anything. So here the numbers are there 1 2 3 5 1 2 3 x x y z y, whatever it is. So file name can be any number of characters. File name can have any number of characters, but extension should be .txt. Similarly, I say doc here. So file name can be anything, star representing multiple characters, and dot to doc means the extension should be doc. So now if I just look at here, the file name can be anything matching with single or multiple characters, because star representing many character, even though it is single character also matches. And then extension should be doc. So this is how we can use question mark and a star. Okay, regular expressions, and we can call it as a wildcard characters in Unix and Linux. Now there is one more wildcard character called range, bracket representing the range. So let me show you how we can work with the range. Clear, and I'll say list. So here my requirement is, let me type some command here. I say ls, in the bracket I'll say a to z. So in the bracket we need to specify the range a to z, a hyphen z, and then I'll say star or question mark, whatever. I say star dot star. Now, if I just look at this expression, what it is representing is ls means list out the files whose names or comes between A to Z. So the names, the file name should fall under A to Z, and star representing many. The file name can be any number of characters, but all the characters should be fall under A to Z. This is the condition. And dot star means extension can be anything. Star representing multiple characters, so extension can be anything. But the file name should satisfy this condition. So what is the condition? The file name should have multiple characters, singular multiple characters, and those characters should fall under A to Z. Now when I execute this, which will show you multiple files. Now if I just look at here, all the file names, either single or multiple characters, should fall under A to Z, and many characters, star representing many characters, and extension can be anything. I say star. Star means matching with multiple characters. Suppose let me write like this. I'll say A to C, only three characters. A, B, C, only three characters range I'm taking, and star dot star. Now A to C means the file name, whatever characters we have in the file name should fall under A to C. Between A to C, only those files will be selected and display them. And extension can be anything, star representing many. So when I enter this, now you can just look at this. A to C I have told. So A, B, C comes under A to C. A, B, C. So these files are, these characters are comes under A to C range. And file name can have multiple characters, and say dot star representing any kind of extension. Okay, so this is how we can also use range operator. So range wildcard expression. So three wildcard expressions we have: single character, multiple character, range. And these wildcard characters we can also use with all the commands in Linux and Unix. So in the coming videos, I'll show you how we can use this wildcard characters with the different type of commands. And if you want to use them with ls command, so these are the different combinations we can try. Okay, so this is all about ls command. We have discussed touch command, which will create an empty file, or we can also create a hidden file, and pwd, which will display the current working directory, and ls command will list out all the file. It is listing all the files and directories and subdirectories and everything. And we have seen multiple options along with ls command. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.